sort of just feels like there's nothing that I can make a video about that is important enough to make a video about.
You know what? Fuck that. You know what's important? You keeping your mental sanity. So let's talk about why you should keep making videos during this whole nonsense. They are talking about how you need to maintain some sort of normalcy, some routines that you normally do. So if you make videos regularly, keep making videos regularly. Now, I'll personally add that just because there's a bad situation going on doesn't mean that you should change your content and essentially apologize every time you make a video. Yeah, it's a terrible situation that we're all in. But guess what? 6 weeks ago, Australia was still on fire. 6 weeks ago, climate change was threatening to destroy our way of life. If you've seen the picture of the Arctic melting pool, you'll know what I'm talking about. And in recent memory, there was talk of a nuclear war. Things are bad always. Guess what? Now it's just affecting everyone at the same time actively. Our lives are actively different, and that's really the only difference. But guess what we did through all of those things? We got through it. Australia's still around, potentially still on fire. I'll admit ignorance, I'm not as up to date as I should be. Nobody launched a nuke, and we're not burning as soon as we step foot outside. So it all kind of keeps going. So at the end of this whole thing, it's gonna keep going. Obviously, do your part, keep social distancing, etc. All the things that everyone else has mentioned. But why not keep going and keep working on the things you need to and want to? Worst case scenario, this is the end. Do you want to go out focusing on the whole thing, or do you want to go out focusing on what you love and enjoy your days? I'm gonna stick to the latter. To that end, I'm doing today what I've been meaning to do for a very long time. I am redesigning our little glitch intro thing. That's why there wasn't one on this video. Honestly, every time my wife watched a video, she said it bothered the crap out of her to hear the glitch. I thought it wasn't that bad, but I figured if it bothers her, it might bother other people. Plus, it's been around for about a year and, you know, freshen things up, liven up the situation, as it were. Plus, I've been meaning to make a new intro anyway, so this could work in with that. We'll see where that goes, but for now, we're just working on doing the T3G logo. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna do like a quick time lapse of me doing it in Premiere, and then I'll talk, if there was anything specific, I'll talk about it after the fact.
I want to start by saying I've just separated the two elements of the logo, the outside circles and then the inside letters. Characters, I guess, would be the better and more appropriate term. And then I've chosen a 10-second. That's incredibly long, I know, but I'll be able to speed that up as necessary. Or just, I'll make it shorter, keyframes and all that stuff. And then basically just used the old overlay we had, where it was just the static. Oh, okay, come on, focus. So yeah, just use the old overlay that we had with the just static logo on the bottom to size it. It's actually going to be even a little smaller than the old logo. And so I've got them sized, so those are two separate pieces there. And what I'm going to do is just now keyframe everything out. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I forgot to start OBS and it was updating. So yeah, now we're going to do the little speedrun thing.
Alright, so that's it. So basically what I did is I took the outside circle, and that's going to be my lens, and then the inside is going to be my subject. So as it shifted, the inside subject got clearer and clearer. So it starts off blurry, and the lens starts like bigger, and then it kind of focuses down, and the subject becomes clearer. And just basically used a few different keyframes. It was really a matter of figuring out how long it was going to end up being. I started at like a 3-second length, and because of the fact that that's just really long for that kind of animation. It just felt like it was dragging on. So I'm like, let me just shorten it. So then I went down to 2 seconds and it still felt long. And then once I added the sound effects, it really felt long because the sound effects just weren't long enough to do it. And then I was stretching the sound effects and that didn't help the situation. So I just said, let me just shorten the animation entirely so the whole thing is 1 second. And for the first time on this channel, here it is. Dope, right? Kind of cool. That's going to be showing up at the beginning of our videos. I didn't put it at the beginning of this one because I didn't kind of want to ruin the surprise. So yeah, that's what I've got there. The next step is going to be to update the website, update the channel art, things like that. And that's just kind of slow going. I've updated some of the descriptions on social, but that's just like, that's what I'm using Sundays going forward, is to kind of do maintenance on the things that I wanted to change, like the brand maintenance for the T3G. Next week, we are going to have a full channel update, which I will try to keep shorter. But if you have any questions about this process, about kind of any plans for the channel, drop that down below. And I'll see you guys next week. Not for that, sooner than that, but next week, regardless.